Hey, it's John, LBF, Little Blue Ford, you know the drill. So, the F-150, my work truck, reliable monster for quite some time. Well, she's broken, unfortunately. Um, Trying to get some stuff cleaned up here out of my way, um, and deal with some complaints. So, I still had the cabin frame for this on the big trailer. It was still sitting behind it, easiest thing to do, jump the motor, fill up the flat tire, haul it out of here. Well, the slave cylinder died. And if you know anything about the small block Ford line, the 300 straight 6, 302, and some of the 351s, there were some other ones in that vintage, but they used what they called the Ford small block bell housing pattern. So the transmission that got put in this years ago by me was a ZF5 out of a 92 F-250. So it's manual 5-speed, well, 4-speed with overdrive. It's got a low granny first. It will actually start out in second with no real load on with this transmission. That was not possible with the M50D that came in originally. This has, it's either 345 or 355 gears. I put those in years ago too. When I did the ZF5 swap, I was hoping to get away from the internal slave, which is internal to the bell housing, because the dump trucks, which they're Ford's big block bell housings, uh, they have an external slave on the ZF5. Small block does not. It's an internal. So unfortunately, I got to drop the transmission in this to deal with that. So right now, as it sits, I have to pull the bell housing bolts tomorrow and one transmission bolt for the cross member mount assembly. Um, yeah, and then that should come down and out so I can get the slave cylinder out, get that swapped, get it all back together. I'm hoping I can do this without dropping the transfer case. It's going to be a bit unwieldy, but I'm in a hurry. So anyway, while I was under here dealing with all that, I found front drive shaft U joints are pretty well shot, so that's going to get new ones because I need it. Well, not necessarily need, but it'd be good to have working four-wheel drive. Well, I disconnected the rear axle. Or rear drive shaft. That's when the fun started. So, I don't know how well this is gonna show up on camera here, but that's not too good. That's a little crispy in there. Well, that's a problem. I need the U-bolts and spring plates. So, I made a phone call. Actually, two phone calls. I called one of the local spring shops, but I couldn't get some firm answers. So I called up Bronco Graveyard, which is not a sponsor yet. We'll see. Brand new U-bolts off the shelf, and some nice beefy top plates meant for this kind of thing. So there we are. I'm not even gonna play with the old U-bolts. They're just getting cut. Zip them off, throw the new U-bolts on, and the top plates, and we're gonna call it a day as soon as I get the clutch back in. Well, slave cylinder for the clutch. So that's kind of nice. This poor truck's getting pretty rusty. Honestly, if I didn't need this thing so badly right now, I'd be taking it off the road and focusing on the dump truck, which is what I kind of planned on doing. Unfortunately, this is faster to fix than the dump truck. Also, unfortunately, I still need the dump truck up and running. So right now the plan is throw the F-150 together, the new U-bolts and plates, new slave cylinder, put in some work, get some of this stuff moved like I'm supposed to. And as soon as I can get the heads off the dump truck, the sooner I can get them off into the machine shop, the better off I'm gonna be. So it's just bad timing, you know. And what can you say? Bad timing, things happen, and unfortunately, rust is a big problem here. So I don't know. We'll do what we can do. It is what it is. And yeah, thanks for watching. Or I don't know. I might film more on this tomorrow. Kind of in a rush. I haven't really been filming on it, but I might try to film tomorrow. Add on to this, and yeah, go from there. All we can do. Alright, so update on the F-150. I didn't get to film today. I was busy. Still gotta pull the battery, throw that on the charger. The transmission and transfer case are down. The slave cylinder is out. And now we're waiting on parts. Parts should be here tomorrow morning, hopefully. And now I get to start putting them back together. Hooray. So much fun. I don't recommend doing what I did here. You really should take the transfer case and separate it from the transmission, which, depending on how things go tomorrow, I may still separate them. I'm trying really hard not to. The other issues, it's best to pull back the carpet or floor mat to expose the inside these. I don't know if I'll be able to go. I'll try to climb under in a minute and see if I can show it. In these Fords, well, both the old body style Fords, the Rangers, Bronco 2s, and Explorers are all like this, I know for a fact. All the old body style Ford stuff. So technically, since the Ranger was re-released as a midsize, That would be a new body style, so anything 2011 and older would be old body style, in my opinion. Um, so any of those older Rangers, Bronco 2s, Explorers up to 02, old body style F-Series trucks, there is a plate around the on the transmission hump that if you pull back the floor matting or carpet, you can get to the bolts that secure that. If you pull that, you have easier access to the bell housing bolts, and it makes room for the shifter stub. I didn't pull the shifter stub. I just took the shifter off, and it almost didn't clear. I actually had to take weight off the suspension, front and rear. So, I mean, there's still, tires are in firm contact with the ground. They're still blocked. I just took weight off the suspension, and I was able to angle enough to clear, but I don't recommend this. So, see if we can get a look-see under here. Alright. Get some light on the subject. There you can see the pan, or plate, or whatever you want to call it. There's the inside of my bell housing here. This is a ZF5. Right there, ZF. Currently what's in here is a BW 1356 transfer case. I may end up changing that out to something else at some point when I rebuild this. For right now, that's what it is. Clutch looks reasonably decent still. And, yeah, I'll probably throw a new bushing or two under this thing, and we'll see about getting her back together tomorrow. Yeah, I'll update tomorrow as I get things back together, and get her back in use on the road here. I got things to do that I need it for, and then we can get to other projects. So stay tuned. Alright, quick update on the F-150. I didn't get to filming anything, but spring plates are painted, so they're ready to go on. Transmission's in. I ended up actually to get the bell housing. Every time I get the bell housing lined up and get in position to try to push the two together, something slipped out of place. It was driving me nuts, and I finally hooked a 2-inch toe strap through the inspection port on the bottom of the ZF5 transmission. Ran under the front axle and up to the back of the farm tractor and put tension on it once I got it lined up. Now I wiggled the output because I have transmission, transfer case, and gear, so I could wiggle an output to get the splines lined up for the clutch. And that worked, keeping the tension on it. As soon as they lined up, it popped forward, put a little more tension on it, wiggled it a little bit, slid onto the locator pegs, so that worked out really slick. I wish I would have thought of that sooner. Bell housing bolts are in. It's sitting on a new transmission mount on the transmission cross member, but none of that's bolted up yet. Starter still has to go in. Got the oil changed yesterday. Dad helped getting the U-joints for the front drive shaft in. That freed me up to work on this some. Well, he was futzing with that. Shifters are back in. Not fully cleaned up yet. But we're definitely gaining here. And should be able to get this together pretty directly here, which will be nice. I got the clutch bled and a couple other things taken care of, so we're got a couple little things, drive shafts, U-bolts and spring plates. She's pretty much there. Yeah, so I'll update again when I get things further along, or maybe you'll get to watch me do something. But onward and upward. Alright, another closed video that I didn't get to. F-150. Clutch got in, transmission transfer case back up in, everything connected. The leaf spring U-bolts and the new top plates are in. That was good. Also, in the process of everything, it's right here. Yeah, there was a little crack starting in the frame, so there's now a brace right here welded in. This truck's done a lot of work. It's in pretty rough shape at the moment, but stay tuned because big things are going to happen with this. It's going to be a little while. Like I mentioned in the video, I believe, introducing this truck, big things are coming. I got some decisions to make. Yeah, we'll cover it as time goes on. So, as always, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.